Welcome. Today I have 4 holiday cookie recipes for you that are vegan and gluten-free. This first recipe is for a crunchy peanut butter chocolate chip cookie. And I start out by whisking together the sugar, butter, peanut butter, and a flax egg. This is adding air to the batter, and I also add in some vanilla extract. These cookies are made with a combination of oat flour and almond flour, and I also add in baking powder and baking soda. And finally, I add in 1 tablespoon of potato starch to help get those cookies extra crispy. Once the dough comes together, you can fold in your mini chocolate chips. The cookies can be portioned out and then are baked for 11 minutes at 375 degrees. When they come out, they'll be really soft, so let them cool and they'll get nice and crispy. This next cookie is an almond-flavored thumbprint cookie filled with black currant jam. This recipe is super easy. You add all your ingredients to a bowl and whisk it together. I'm using all-purpose gluten-free flour, powdered sugar, vegan butter, a little bit of plant milk, and some almond extract. The dough comes together really easily, so the most difficult part is just rolling out all the balls and making that thumbprint down the center. These cookies have that fruity burst of jam and a beautiful, subtle almond flavor. Our next cookie is a chocolate peppermint shortbread. The key to getting that nice flaky dough is using cold butter and sifting the powdered sugar, the flour, and the cocoa powder. I'm gonna leave the measurements for all the recipes down in the description, and while you're down there, if you're enjoying today's video, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'm so grateful for all of you, and I couldn't do it without you. As the dough comes together, you can dump it out onto a parchment paper and form it into a nice little ball and a sphere, and that's gonna get chilled in the fridge for about 20 minutes. Cooling the dough after you work with it is gonna be important because it keeps that butter nice and cold and makes it so it has those nice flaky layers. After it's cooled, you can roll it out into about 1/4 of an inch, and then with your cookie cutters of choice, you can make whatever shapes you'd enjoy. As I cut the cookies out, I put them onto a lined baking sheet, and before I bake it, I'm also gonna chill it in the fridge for about 10 minutes. I was pretty happy about how these cute little stars came out. As the cookies baked, I microwaved on intervals some chocolate chips to serve as the icing for the cookies. And once they had cooled a bit, I topped each cookie with a dollop of the chocolate before spreading it out to be nice and even. I have to say this last recipe is definitely my favorite, and it's for a chai-inspired molasses cookie. This recipe starts by combining your molasses, sugar, and butter into the mixing bowl and whisking it up till it gets nice and fluffy. I also added in a tablespoon of maple syrup. I let the mixer do all the work and incorporate plenty of air into that sugar and butter mixture. Next, I add in all my dry ingredients, starting with my flour, baking powder, baking soda, as well as my flax egg and all the spices to make that chai flavor. Because I'm going to be using a cookie cutter, I also chill this dough in the fridge for about 10 minutes before I roll it out. Chilling the dough really improves the texture, but it can also improve the flavor because it gives all those ingredients time to mingle together. After the dough has chilled, you can roll it out to about 1/4 inch and use whatever cookie cutters you like to make some nice shapes. This dough is a bit more delicate, so I cut out all my cookie shapes before peeling away the extra pieces. The cookies are going to bake at 350 for about 9 minutes. As the cookies bake, I make a black tea glaze using powdered sugar and a strong brewed cup of black tea. To 1/2 cup of the sifted powdered sugar, I added 2 tablespoons of the tea and whisked it together. Then once the cookies were cooled, I dipped each one in to get a nice glaze on the top. Once the cookies are cooled, they're ready to eat, but you can also wrap them up and they make perfect little holiday gifts to give out to friends and family. Thank you all for watching, and I hope that you all have a wonderful holiday season. And if you make any of these recipes, I'd love to know down in the comments, and I will see you next time.